Anyway, I got cut off, but I'm gonna get right back to what I said. I want to be able to differentiate between them and the people you can pattern your game after. I got cut off accidentally with a phone call, but yeah. So that is the continuation of the previous conversation. It's a two-parter. But nevertheless, what we're talking about here is athletes who have extraordinary bodies, who are able to be extremely productive on the floor, versus guys who are more so normal, average build people who will need more fundamentally sound basketball players to pattern their games after and to learn the game from. And that's what I'm trying to express to you guys. Just the importance of understanding how and why I speak the way that I do about players like Giannis, players like Shaquille, and not to try to make anyone think that I'm trying to dismiss them as anything less than the Hall of Famers and great athletes and great productive basketball players that they were. Production doesn't always require that a player do things the most fundamental way, or do things the traditional way. The NBA and basketball in general has the freedom within it to be able to improvise and make up things on the fly and kind of have free flowing motions with how you play the sport. You can do a lot of different stuff within it so long as you follow the most basic rules. So, you don't have to be great skills players to be great basketball players. But pointing out those skills players are important. And differentiating between the two is very important to me. So that's what this was about. Thank you guys for being patient with me and that whole little thing right there. And, at the end of the day, I give credit to guys like Giannis, though, because I think it's something to be said for not being the prototypical skills players and still being able to carve out great careers to where guys who may do the sweet science of basketball or perform the sweet science of basketball better than you can't touch you. They can't keep up with you. You bleed through all their fundamentals. You bust through all of their principles and manage to dominate the basketball floor. Guys like Wilt Chamberlain were able to do that with his body and having his size and length and ability. Not to say that he wasn't a skills player, but we understand he was deficient at the free throw line. We understand that he wasn't trying to shoot no three-pointers, but he was still, the most dominant and productive player the game has ever seen. So, got to give credit to those players. Got to give credit to those guys. You don't take nothing from them. You just don't send your kid to their basketball camp, to their skills camp. That's all I'm saying. If a basketball player is a point guard, I want them to pattern their game after Chris Paul, Jason Kidd, Magic Johnson, guys like that. If you're looking at the defensive end, I'm thinking about John Stockton. I'm thinking about Gary Payton. Those like fundamental players. Kyrie Irving, fundamental players. If you're a big man, I'm looking at guys like Hakeem Olajuwon, Tim Duncan. Those are the skills players that first come to mind for me. Love Shaquille, but I'm not sending my kid to his big man camp before I send him to Hakeem's. And I'm sure he would agree. It just is what it is. We know. But that's not to say that I put Hakeem ahead of Shaq. Shaq's more accomplished. Shaq was more dominant. Shaq's numbers dictate you respect him to that degree, but Hakeem was better than him. Nobody foolish to think that Hakeem wasn't a better player than Shaq. Come on, man. It's not a secret. It's just about the skills. It doesn't mean more productive. It just means they do the skills stuff that others can pattern their game after in such a way that's best for others to learn from. That's it. So anyway, I'm speaking in circles. Thank you guys for watching. My name is BDO44. I'm out.